Hey, so welcome to the second part of our three-part series talking about taking the emotion out of it. What to do when results don't come.
Ah!
Wow,
Hey,
that wasn't even planned. That was really good. So in our part one of this series, what we talked about was when you're getting those disappointing results and you're not getting the results you're looking for, taking the emotion out of it by reaching out to someone who's been there and can help pull you through the muck that you're stuck in, right? And that may be an individual mentor or getting good counsel, or it could be through a mastermind group or like a team environment, team setting. So go back and watch that one if you did not catch that first part. Second part today, we're going to talk about focusing on your activity and not your results. And when I say focus on your activity, not your results, the first thing I immediately go back to, and we've probably said this before on a podcast, I don't know, but I remember when our oldest son started playing club soccer, and he had a British coach that was just dripped that British attitude and sarcasm and just. But I remember one time they were in a tournament, and the boys just didn't look like they didn't know what they were doing. They were kind of down by a goal or two, and he just yelled at them. He said, "Boys." I'm not going to imitate his accent. But he said, "Boys, focus on the process, not the score." They were down. Focus on the process, not the score. And I remember hearing that going, gosh, I am so glad my son is in this environment hearing this message. They ended up winning that game like 3-2. I remember that one goal because he scored it. Our kid scored the winning goal. But focus on the process. So I remember a few years ago, a new agent that was sort of a family friend asked me, he said, "Look, I'm making dials and I don't feel like I'm there yet on the results. How many dials does it take to really become an expert at this?" And I said, "I don't know. I don't know the answer." I mean, there's Daniel Coyle's book, Talent Code, and Malcolm Gladwell and Outliers. A lot of people quote that, and they talk about the 10,000 hours that you have to work at something in order to be considered an expert at it. And I don't think that's true. I think 10,000 hours is an arbitrary number. I think you do what you have to do until you see that breakthrough. And then look, if it's 1,000 dials, in order to be an expert at making dials, how fast can you make your 1,000 dials is the point. It's not, okay, one. No, man, if you can knock out 100 in an hour and it's going to take you 1,000 to be an expert, you're 10% of the way done. I feel like that when I'm doing my workout. I got so many exercises I'm doing. I'm constantly doing the percentages of how far along I am in my workout. I'm like, okay, I'm 45% done. I'm 50% done. I'm 60%. Oh, I'm 90% done. I got one more exercise. So let's clarify, though. What is an activity here? An activity that we would call, when you're focusing on your activity, focus on income-producing activities. There's a lot of people that kind of get caught up in busy work,
right?
Shuffling the leads, organizing it just so. I remember one time talking to an agent. He was making like 15 dials an hour. I said, "Bro, are you taking a dump in between each dial? Because there's no way. In an hour, I know people making 60 dials an hour. 15 is slow." And so we set up a Zoom meeting, and I could watch him while he was dialing, and it was like he didn't know I was there because I kind of came and went. But he would make a dial, and then he spent like 5 or 10 minutes just clicking on stuff on his computer. And I was like, hey, I finally spoke. I said, "What are you doing right now?" He said, "Oh, I was just mapping out where this next lead is so I can know." And then an email popped up, and I had to read the email, and it was about a pending case that I've already submitted. So then I had to go check the website on this insurance policy that's about to get issued, and blah, 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 blah. I was like, you just listed off 8 things that aren't producing income. When you're focusing on the activity and not the results, when you focus on the activity and not the results, the activity is the work that is required in order to make the money that you're looking to make. And what's the result? A result is money, man. So focus on the activity, not the results. Well, when you're focusing on the results, what you're focusing on is, I made 10 dials. I didn't get one sale out of that. Oh my gosh, 10. Our statistics say that you got to make 13 dials in order to book an appointment. So 10 dials, most likely you're not going to make a sale. Give it 13 dials to just see if you can book an appointment. Focus on the process, not the results. And I promise you, it will lead to the results. And before you know it, you're like, hey, the results are there. Yeah, it's because you focused on the activity, not on what you're really trying to get, which is the money. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. What's up? What's next?
What's next is, as you're focusing, as you're choosing like you said, mentally to celebrate the activity and not get so emotionally skewed by the result. Another tip that we have for you in that process of how to focus on the activity is to invest more. Now, what I've learned about life is typically the right thing to do feels like the wrong thing to do. Yeah, it's like upside down, right? Like eating well, it feels wrong. Exercising, it feels wrong, right? Like being kind, it kind of feels wrong a lot of the times. I mean, I'm just being honest. Sometimes I don't want to be kind. Anybody?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, typically, right, doing the right thing, like not spending all my money and saving it, you know, learning to save, or I don't need to go eat out all the time. I don't need to go buy all those fancy things, okay? So in our business, when we're working our leads and doing activity and not getting results, it feels like I should stop investing in my business. But that, my friend, is the wrong thing to do. The right thing to do is to actually invest more, to go buy. So maybe you need fresher, newer leads, and maybe you only need, 5 or 8, but it will just infuse hope into you to call 5 or 8 fresh new leads and book 2 appointments. And now it makes you feel like, okay, I can go back to some of these leads that I didn't pay as much for, but I feel a renewed energy and vigor.
Yeah.
Right? Or, investing more time. This was kind of the theme of everything we've been talking about, is not making the wrong choice of walking away from the activity simply because you are not getting the results you want. Because all that does is make sure you never get the results you want. So, but these are all the thing is, it's such mind games, and we're all human. So every single person listening to me, we know what it's like to not get a good result and to stop doing that because we feel like we're not getting the result. And we all know that a lot of times we're quitting right before the breakthrough. So next time you feel like quitting, I want you to hear my voice in your ear say, one more dial. It's that one more dial that Fitz made that got that first sale that kept us in the business, that has radically changed our lives. And it can radically change yours too. So you've just got to learn how to make the right choices, like investing in your business when the results aren't coming.
And to that, one of the statistics that I've seen over 20 plus years, and when we track data and we know the numbers, I know that if a new agent will make 138 dials a week, just dial the phone 138 times, I know that agent's going to make a minimum of $50,000 this year. That's just a new agent, just starting out, beginning commission contract.
Challenge thrown out.
138 dials. Now, Here's what a new agent will do is, I have 30 leads. I have 20 leads. I have 10 leads. How am I going to make 138 dials on 10 leads? To your point, well, you triple dial them. So if you got 30 leads and you just call through the leads once, you call it, ring 4 times, flip it, or dial it again, ring 4 times, dial it again, ring 4 times, flip it. And you go through those. If you went through all of your leads once, triple dialing, that's 90 dials. But eventually those people are going to know your number. They're going to get tired of you calling every 30 seconds. So perhaps what you do is invest more. Get another set of leads. I hear agents that have been with us 5, 6, 7 years are making 200, 300, 400 dials a week. They're not doing it on 10 leads. They have a stack. They continue to work through. On top of that, working on their current clients. And on the flip side, the recruiting side, I've had people say, man, I spent so much. I spent $500 on ZipRecruiter, and I didn't get one person out of that. I go, you know how many thousands of dollars, millions maybe, of dollars I've spent on advertising to bring on new people? And I've got what we've got. And we've got some pretty good gold going on, but we had to go through a lot of dirt to get through that. And we just had to keep investing in that dirt in order to find the gold that was in it.
Right.
One of the things that we discovered, so when we first moved to Dallas and started building, you're working your corporate job, but I'm just at home working. And I would go from our master bedroom to the second bedroom and work. And then I go back to our master bedroom and sleep. And then I go back to I was never leaving the house. And my wife actually suggested that I start playing golf because her dad taught me how to play. She's like, you know what? You should go play golf. I said, that's a great idea. I love that you're pushing me out the door to go play golf. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to set it up as a goal for the week. So what I focused on goals that I had control over. Like, I've got to make this many dials, right? I've got to book this many appointments. I'm going to keep dialing until I book this many appointments. And at the end of the week, if I'd met my goals, I could go play golf. And it was awesome on Fridays at noon when I got to go with my buddies and got to go get some vitamin D through our skin to the sun. It was awesome and play golf. But you know what? A lot of times I didn't hit my goals and I didn't get to go play golf. And those were the days when it was 72 degrees, zero humidity in Dallas, and blue skies. And then there were weeks I just crushed my goals, and it's 30 degrees, raining, hurricanes blowing through. I didn't care. I was going to play golf, even though that was miserable. I was going to go play golf. I needed that reward for the work that I had done. And it was, if you're doing activity and don't feel like the results are coming, if you're focused on the activity and reward yourself for it, you are manufacturing results.
Right.
Now, the results we're looking for are sales and commissions, but in the meantime, it could be I get to go walk around the house. Mm-hmm. You know, I get to go out and throw the ball with the dog, or I get to go whatever. You know, mm-hmm. It's whatever is going to motivate you. Okay, if I make 15 more dials, I can go play with the kids. If I do this, then I can go do that. For me, what drove me was being able to leave and go play golf. Mm-hmm. It was a big reward for me.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, so when we're trying to focus on the activity, this is a process of trying to strengthen our mental thought process by not allowing our emotions to jerk us off course. And really, the absolute fail-proof way that this works, because everyone knows it in all industries, is to create a team around you, to create a group of people around you. We are stronger together, always, because somehow we will show up for the team, but we just will not show up for ourselves. Again, just human nature. We are all like this. So I just encourage you to create a team around you. And I use the word create because most of you have a team within a very close proximity. Whether it be you choose to use Zoom and get in on that way, all of you in the Fitz Group community have that. But I know we've got local dial team sessions going on here in our office. I know a lot of our offices have dial team sessions going on. Some of them go on all day, from start at 1 p.m. and they dial all day till 8 p.m., giving you an opportunity to work with a team all day long. If you're going to make 138 dials and you go to a dial session, you just commit. I'm going to go to a dial team session from 1 to 8. I guarantee you can get 138 dials if you decide to from 1 to 8. And then you don't have to dial by yourself. What? You know, I mean, the dialing by yourself is where the emotions get you off course because you've got nobody around you to keep you focused. Now, if you are that person, this is why I use the word create. If for some strange reason you're looking around and you're saying, I don't have live people that I can gather with, well, then create it. And they don't even have to be people making dials. Maybe they're doing other work, but you could sit in the same room with them. I promise you, just being in the presence of other people, articulating your goals, writing down your goals, and having those people know what's going on with you, making dials, putting a community around you will make you more successful. You are not meant to work alone.
Right. So, a couple of action items. One, write down your goals.
Yes.
Right? You quote Craig Groeschel talking about writing the goals, and we were just at a conference, heard Brian Tracy talking about it. Like, I think it's less than 3% of the world write down their goals.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? And it's just writing them down. What Brian Tracy said was every day write down your top 10 goals for the day.
Yes.
Just get a notebook. You know, $2.50. He said, if you can't afford a $2.50 notebook, borrow it from your parents. I promise you, they want you to move out already. So, you know, I just thought it was pretty funny. But you get the notebook, and every day you write down your top 10 goals. The next day you write down. You don't look at your previous day. Just write them down again, and then the next day you do it again. And what you're going to start seeing is you're refining the goals, and you're really finding the top 10 that are really the most important to you, not the ones that you feel like you got to do, but the ones that really mean something to you. Write down your goals and share them with somebody who can help you get there, or at the very least will encourage you in your journey to accomplishing those goals. That's a big thing. The second thing, in our business, if you're writing down goals, most likely it's going to be attached to some sort of production goal that you got, some sort of income that you want to hit. You need to sit down with a mentor or manager and just figure out, am I investing properly to get the goals? Because if you have a goal and you don't do anything to like a timeline on that, or you don't invest in that, it's just a wish. I wish I made $1 million. Okay, well, what is your action items? What are your steps that you're taking in order to make that $1 million? Are you doing this? Are you doing this? Are you doing this? You need somebody that you can present that to, that can ask you those questions and make sure that you're doing the right things to get to where you're trying to go. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. You can get the results you want. You can get the results that you want when you choose to focus on the activity.
Absolutely. And hey, now that you know.
You know.